Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Inside the Mirror podcast. I'm your host, Kyle David. If you didn't know, now you know. Hey, question. How are you treating yourself? How do you treat yourself? It's a good question. For me, it's a good question for you. How do you treat yourself? Here's a quick story. A few years back, I was going pretty hard at things. I was making music. I was working at a restaurant. I was trying to start a business. I was trying to do a lot of things. And I was drinking caffeine all day long and not sleeping well and staying up late and just going. And eventually a few things happened. One, I got a hernia. I actually had two hernias. I had a double hernia, probably from working out all the time, not recovering well. I was going way too hard at the gym and in my life. So I had a double hernia, ended up having to have a double hernia repair through an invasive surgery. And let me tell you, it sucked. It was painful physically. And I was out of the gym for many months. I was just down for the count. It took me out. And then also right after that, I ended up getting sick. I had a bunch of stomach issues and bacterial overgrowth, and I had parasites, and I was just a wreck. I was physically just a wreck. And it was because I was going so hard and not ultimately I wasn't being kind to myself. I wasn't treating myself well. I was I was basically abusing myself, thinking I didn't need sleep. I didn't really need to do anything restful or peaceful, or I just needed to go, and I could handle it. And so that's where this week's podcast thought came from. Is just I'm still trying to get better at it of treating myself well, right? Because here's the thing: like we can treat other people really well. Well, most of us are good at being kind to other people and treating other people well, but we struggle to treat ourselves well. At least I do. And so that's where this thought came from. Is like we are the number one person responsible for taking care of us, right? It's great that we want to treat other people well and be there for other people and really give to others, but our ultimate responsibility first is actually to ourselves, right? Like we have to first treat ourselves really well so that we are healthy and thriving and in a good space to then go treat other people well. But if we're not treating ourselves well, then we're missing the whole point here. Again, we should first be treating ourselves well so that we can then go treat other people well. And here's the thing again, like who else is going to take care of you? No one else is coming. No one else is going to do it. You might have friends, family, a spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, but no one's going to take care of you. You have to be responsible for yourself. It's the kind, right thing to do to treat yourself well. And so, like, a few practical things that I think are helpful to think through for me and for you, for all of us when it comes to treating ourselves well, like check in with yourself weekly, right? Like once a week, sit down or whatever you need to do and just like audit like how you're treating yourself that week. Do you have rest planned? Are you resting good? Do you have activities that you're going to enjoy on the calendar or in the plan? Listen to your thoughts, audit your thoughts. Are you being kind in the way you speak to yourself? Are you being, like I said, kind in the way that you're spending your time? Are you just going and not giving yourself any type of like life-giving activity? Right? Like weekly, check in with yourself. What am I thinking? How am I talking to myself? How am I treating myself? What am I doing to myself? Good or bad, right? What are the positive things I'm doing for myself? Am I just grinding my own gears and burning myself out? It's not kind. You deserve better. I deserve better, but we can't expect other people to fulfill that role. That's our responsibility, right? Like there's no one you should be treating better in your life than you. Like you should not be treating other people better than you treat yourself. You should be your number one focus and then other people. Because here's the thing, if you can't learn to treat yourself well, the person you're most responsible for, how are you going to really be equipped to treat other people well? Family, kids, other people you are responsible for, but you're the number one person you're responsible for. So how are you really going to know what it takes to really treat a person well if you can't treat yourself well? You know? And again, you're your number one caretaker. If you're not taking care of yourself and treating yourself well, nobody's going to fulfill that need. Others can try, but if you don't first take care of yourself, what they do is not going to be as impactful. And I get it. It's not easy, right? A lot of it goes back to like how we view ourselves, insecurity and identity, past traumas, past perspectives on ourselves, right? Like our view of ourselves really shapes how we treat ourselves. So you really got to go all the way back to like, how do I view myself and why do I view myself that way? If you have a bad perception of yourself, you're not going to treat yourself well. And if you can't figure out why you have that perception and address that, you're always going to treat yourself poorly. So all this really comes back to like identity and self-esteem and like, how do you view yourself? And then from that place, how do you treat yourself? Yeah, there's a lot there. But it's something, again, like I said, it's something that I'm working on. Like I really struggle with how I view myself. I think I just see all the things I suck at and the things I'm behind in, the things I'm not good at. And so then I don't treat myself well because I'm like, I don't deserve it. And that's just off. I'm not good at it, but I know it's wrong. Right? Like I don't need to do anything to be deserving of like care from me or from anyone, but especially from me. I don't have to earn my own care. But it's a warped mentality, and I think a lot of us deal with it. So, anyways, like that's my encouragement, is to really audit, how do you treat yourself? How do you spend your time on yourself? How do you spend your money on yourself? How do you think about yourself? How do you talk to yourself? And put things in place every week to like be kind to yourself. If you're watching, you can see my shirt. Be kind. Be kind to yourself. You deserve it. We all deserve it. There's no one on this earth that doesn't deserve kindness from their self. Again, that's your number one responsibility, not someone else's. So those are my thoughts. Hope it was helpful. If it was, share it with somebody that needs to hear it. I'll be back next week with another episode of Inside the Mirror Podcast. Adios.